Hey guys, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for stopping by and spending some time with me today. Um, I am coming to the end of our Making with Scraps in our Making with Our Mess series. So the little mini series inside the series sort of thing. Um, we are going to go through, and I'm going to try and do this in the order that we did them. So the first episode of the Scraps mini series was edge clusters, and these were the ones that we got made. We're not going to try and decorate any of these. The only things we might decorate, I've already got like a little bit of a plan for, so I'm not going to like hold you to it too long. But these are all the ones we made, and I can't remember. I do have two decorated here, and then this one that got started. We put lace on it, and then this leaf, and I would put a flower here, but I haven't found one that I like yet. So there isn't anything there yet, but I can't remember if we decorated both of these on camera or if I finished one of them off camera, but this is the two that we made, and apparently it got stuck to something because glue pulled off part of that label. So now I'm going to have to figure out how to like add something else to this and see how it goes. But those were the strip clusters, and I think these are great as far as like decorating the edge of a page, or even being able to, depending on how wide they are, use them as belly bands or, anything like that. But that was our first project with scraps. Our next project with scraps was these strip cards. Now, when I was going back through and trying to find all of the things that we did, for some reason, these were the only two of these that I could find. I'm pretty sure we made more than two. I just don't know what I did with them. So here's one of the plain ones. Can you guys hear my sinuses? I think I'm allergic to my craft room. Here's one of the plain ones. And then this is the one we decorated. And I really like the way it turned out. It's still a little floppy because it's still just on book page. But once I get it glued to something a little more sturdy, it'll stay together. But I like the embellishment. It'll make a cute journaling card. And I have an idea for this one, but I don't want to, throw out any spoilers for the next video. But there might be another haul coming, guys. All right. So let me put that up there. All right. The next thing we did was these. This has got to be one of my favorite ways to use scraps. I love the way these go together. You can use scrap pieces of cardstock or paper or whatever, and pieces from your Tim Holtz kits or any other kind of greeting cards like we did. These are got Tim Holtz pieces in them. This is just scrapbook paper. That's another Tim Holtz piece. It's a part of the thing. So it's a pocket. There's a tuck, and then another one back there. This is a piece of deco paper that I got in some Amazon pack of deco papers, and it's part of this belly band now. That's just more. Here's one with a card. So that opens up. There's a pocket and a tuck behind the card, and then another tuck and some journaling space. So any way you can imagine putting these together. There's another Tim Holtz. This is more deco paper mounted on a piece of cardstock, I think. And then, anything your imagination will let you do with this. These are all more Tim Holtz things. Some of these I may have made after I turned the camera off, but I think most of them I made with you. So, and then this one has tucks going in two directions on a wide belly band. I don't know if I made that one with you. Here's another one with a Tim Holtz thing. Here's another one with a greeting card. So this one's just simple. It's just the belly band, no tucks or anything, and then you open it up and you got writing space. So really cute. And then this one is really simple, just two little pockets on the front, and this glues down as a pocket with a peekaboo spot, as long as you don't glue this piece down. That's all you have to remember. And then we have, pockets and tucks and pockets and tucks. And then these were going to be layered belly bands. So I would, since they don't attach, I've just got them clipped together. But you would glue this down as a belly band and then glue this down as a belly band separately over top of it. And you would have this little but they don't connect to one another, so I just have them clipped together until I'm ready to put them in something. Same with this. This would be a little pocket, and then you glue this belly band down over top of it. Really cute, right? And then here's another one of the just tucks. And that's calendar divider page. So not just scrapbook paper, but, you know, wherever you can find scraps to put together for this kind of stuff. I love these. I think these are awesome. This is one of my favorites. And I think it uses up a ton of scraps because you can sit down and make a ton of those really quick. Okay, I have a little list down here. I'm trying to do these in the order that we did them. Let me see what's next. Oh, yeah. Hold on, it's behind me because it's kind of unruly. Remember this? The rolling journal paper? Okay. So you do it like a giant snippet roll. You just keep gluing pages together, however they'll fit. It does help if you've got stuff that has something on both sides, right? Because these are meant to be like this, ready to sew into a journal. So you cut one out like this, right? And then you could sew it in as a page, and it's got stuff on both sides. You don't have to worry about covering it. Now, of course, if you wanted, you could tear a piece of paper to fit in there and just let the words stick out around the outside. That might be a fun way to decorate. What I've got these sitting here for is this is going to have a double tuck on it. So I'll put a tuck, because where this ended up cutting off the roll, I don't necessarily like how some of this came together. Like, I don't like that this ended up in a fold and that's just a blank area. So if I do a double tuck on here, like this, I get a spot to put something and a spot to put something. So this is going to be a double tuck. And I really like the way that covers everything up and stiffens up this side of the page. Also, these are scraps, so I'm using more of my scraps to decorate. But it gives this page purpose, and it can go in my book like that, right? I would glue it down with you, but this page needs trimming up. I cut it out quickly when we made this, and I didn't really trim it up or anything. So that needs trimming up, so I don't want to... This doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing. But these are a lot of fun, and you just continue to add book pages to it. See, look, there's a book page from a reader, some music page, old page, textbook page, dictionary page, scrapbook paper, whatever you got. Coloring book page. Just add it all. Throw it in there. Make really cool, eclectic, crazy pages. So that's the rolling paper. Which is basically, like I said, a giant snippet roll. Although I haven't made a regular snippet roll yet, so I don't know. Maybe that's not how you make snippet rolls. Okay, the next thing we made was these. This idea came, you've seen me make these more than once because this idea came from Tina over at Shabby Dabby Doodle, where you take 3 pieces of paper and some sort of backing, some sort of card backing or paper backing, and you stick 3 pieces of paper together that would go together. And then the idea would be that you would decorate on top of that. Okay, so this makes a base. And I call them mini masterboards just because, I mean, basically, it's 3 pieces of paper stuck together on a little, they're mini masterboards. They look like things that got cut off of a masterboard. So these were what we made. Look, I made 2 of those. Well, similar colors anyway. And then we decorated these. So, I mean, they make great backgrounds. When you put something on top of them, it's like a complete card. There you go. Done. There you go. Done. Right? So, really, really cool. And they also get rid of a lot of scraps because all you got to do is find 3 things that you like together and glue them down to the card. And they can be book page scraps, music paper scraps, whatever kind of scraps you got. You can make these cards out of those. All right, so journaling cards. All right. The next thing we had was, little scraps you can take and do this with. So, remember when we got out our stamps? You stamp things and then you cut them out and they're ready to put on journal pages or on clusters or, you know, whatever. They're ready to decorate something with. Like these are little postcards. This is some collage stamps that I've got. Here's the word escape. I've got some word stamps. You can stamp a word and then cut it out and use it on your page. Punch circles and stamp those. So all different kinds of things. Whatever stamps you've got, stamp them and cut them out. And you've got ready-made little pieces of decorated ephemera that you can use on a cluster or a journaling card, or whatever you happen to be making that you need a little extra something on. There you go. So we got those. Oh, that one. The next thing we did was we played with circles. Okay, like I told you, I sat down one night with my circle punches and I punched a bunch of circles. So one of the things we did was we made these. These are basically circle belly bands. So since I have this out here, I'll just use it as my page. You would put this is a short page, but you would put this on here like this, and then you could tuck something under it. Maybe I should do it this way and take this out of here. Okay, so you would put this on here like this, and then you would be able to tuck something under there. And it would be a belly band. So we made this circle cluster belly band, or this circle cluster belly band, which goes the other way. So now, obviously, it needs to be on a page that it fits on, or you're going to have to trim it and make flat edges, however you want to do it. Or you can make it fit the page that you're working on. To get the ends to work, because I glued it to a rectangular piece, to get the ends to work, my circles tend to hang over. So cover corners and all that kind of sort of thing. But that was one of the things we did with circles. We did 4 things with circles. We did those. We did these little paper clips. Remember these? Hidden paper clips. They go on there like that, and they stick out at the end. And there's enough room. You can see where the paper clip is, kind of. There's enough room here that if you wanted to, you could punch a hole and hang an eyelet and hang a little charm off of there. See if I can get that one on. Yeah, see? And that one's got a lot of room. You could do that one right in the center out here in the middle. Punch a little hole, stick an eyelet, hang a charm, decorate them up, put some stickers on there, depending on how big of the circle is you make. And that's the second thing we did. And then we did these. Now, I've made a few extras. So on camera with you guys, we did this one and we stuck a center in it. And we did that one. That one. I think I did that one. That was my practice one. And then we did some bigger circles. And then we did some really big circles. And then I went and did some of my own. So I did this one. I did another with the polka dots. And then I did these with the bigger. I did another one of those red ones, but smaller. And then I did the scallop punch circles. I like the outside edge. I don't know how I feel about this part. It's going to need a center. It also might have to do with the fact that I didn't ink these. So now I probably still can because I didn't glue them to one another. I just glued them down with that one little circle. That's what I did with all of them. I punched some circle out of book page. This circle can be anything. So I punched it out of some book page and that's what I used to hold them together. So I can still ink these petals. And I'm thinking about doing that. I just don't know what color I want to ink them. And then seeing how that looks. But I thought I would try it with the scallop circles and see if it made cool flower petals. But anyway, so we made these flowers. I love the way these look. I think this is probably my favorite size. But, I mean, as big as you need, right? So we made those. And then, of course, we made these little circle charms. So you take circle punch and you tear circles and you layer circles. And this is just a bulb pin with a one of those cord clamp. I don't know what you call these. They clamp, ribbon clamps, aren't they? Ribbons. And then you dangle a charm off of there on an eyelet, and this is just ready to hang. Right? And of course, you don't have to make them circles, but I thought it was a really cool. Now, I would probably embellish the back of that just because, I mean, it's the corner of railroad tracks. But I really like the way the front turned out. And this one looks like I tried to do a little bit of embellishing on the back anyway. Oh, I tore this circle in half and I put half of it on there and half of it down here. And then I might do the same thing I did over here and put another circle right there. But anyway, so you get the idea. So you can make these little charms. So that was the 4 things we did with circles. Okay. Where are we at? All right, after we did circles, we did the paper quilts. Love these. I love these. These are the ones I did with you on camera. As you can see, they still have their fuzzies because I have not backed them. Mostly because I think I would want to cut them first so that I could stitch the edges depending on how big I was going to make them or what I was going to do with them. Because wherever I cut this, the outer edge is going to need restitched, right? So I think I want to do that first, and I don't back stitch on paper. I explained this when I did it, but I don't back stitch on paper, so I have a tendency to leave these long threads in. Because as soon as you cut them out, I think that's stitched upside down. I do believe it did. As soon as you cut them out, you end up with, they try to slip back through the holes. There's nothing holding them. But once you glue it down to a card, they're not going anywhere. So I'm kind of trying to wait. And then we did square ones. Okay? And on this one, I tested different lengths of, actually on this one, it messed up. That's a mess up there. My bobbin ran out. Okay, so I did those. Now, off camera, I did these. I did this long one, which is the strips again. But I had a long, narrow piece of cardstock, and I just kind of did that, and I sewed wherever there was a seam. Wherever 2 pieces of paper come together is where you sew. I'm trying to remember where I saw this originally. I want to say it was Chasing Retro. I don't think I mentioned that in the video because I couldn't remember where I had seen it, but I remembered the idea, so I wanted to try it. But I think that's where I saw it. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I really like the way these turned out, and I forgot to do the thing. So I have this new method of doing this. So on this one, I decided that I was going to get 2 large cards and kind of a narrower bookmark or belly band or tuck or whatever I wanted to make this. And so what I did was I went ahead and pre-stitched on either side of this seam. So what I'll do is I'll cut up that seam and take that card off and take that card off. And then I don't have to re-stitch it because I already double stitched. Can you see that? So on either side of this seam, I double stitched it. So this piece will come off separate, this piece will come off separate, and this piece will come off separate. Right? And then I glue them down to backings, and I've got, so like that. And it's already got its stitching. Same with this one, already stitched. I could even make this an envelope. Look at that, a little folding envelope thing. Hey, that's an idea. There you go, guys. We came up with another idea. So if you do this right, you plan ahead, you can do the double stitching and you can make yourself a little envelope. Of course, it kind of separates there, but you know, you get the idea. Anyway, so that's what I decided to do on this one, was do the double stitching. And I could have done it here if I had thought about it, decided where I wanted this and done 2 strands just right up the middle and then cut between them. So wherever you know that you're going to separate it, stitch on either side of your cut line, and your stitching will be done before you do your cutting. Does that make sense? Okay, you won't have to go back to your sewing machine, is my point. I forgot to do it on this one, so I'll have to figure out where I want to do the stitching. The other thing you can do is just cut, like if I lost this piece here and I cut here and here, I would just lose a strip in the middle here, and that would be a card, and this would be a card. You could do that too. Okay, anyway, these quilts I love. They're time consuming though, all that stitching. but they are really, really fun, and I love the way they turn out. Okay. Next. Yes. Paper clips. Okay, so these are our paper clips. We did 5 paper clips. Look at all my stuff wanting to join the video. We did 5 paper clips. We did this one, which was a, oh no, that was one I was trying to do. That's a wraparound paper clip. Never mind. That's not one of our 5. Here's our 5. Okay, so we did these wraparound paper clips with charms. That's what I was trying to make there. Just haven't finished it yet. I did this after I turned the video off, and then I never went back, and basically what I need to do is glue this, roll it over, cut it off. And it'll have that little pretty flower on there. And then charms. So it's one of these. Okay, we made a big one. Well, we made 2. A little one and this one. And then there's a big one. So we did those. Oh, and I started this one, but the piece of paper was really small. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I haven't decided yet. Okay, and then we did these tab clips. Right? Where the top, your paper is down here with your paper clip in it, and then it gives you gap, and it determines how far out your tab sticks is how far up you put your paper clip. In here is how far out your tab sticks from your page. So these ones would go on the page like that. See? My paper clip ends right there. This one was a little tall, I think. Yeah, that's a really wide tab. That's something I might stick on something in the book so that it doesn't stick too far out. But, I mean, you can do whatever you want, right? Okay, so we have that. And they can also go this way. So we have those. And then we did these, which are the same idea. These are almost like bookmarks. It's the same idea. For some reason, I feel like these should go on the tops of pages, but they don't have to. I mean, you can just as easily stick them over here. It's not a must. I just, for some reason, that's what they feel like to me. Now, the bottom is uneven here. To me, that makes it easier to just find where to, I say that, and then it doesn't go in. To open it and find where to stick it. Oh, it's catching on itself. There's a piece of paper in there, so it's catching. Anyway, so these ones, and then you could decorate the long part with like a long, tall flower. I think I saw flowers, just anything you want to put on, little labels, numbers. We also did this one, which I didn't put an eyelet in the top of. You can, you don't have to. Again, it's longer on one side than the other. This was double-sided paper is the reason that's got pattern there. But for the most part, that part doesn't get seen. It's just there as a lip to kind of help you get the paperclip open. So we did those. Sorry, I know, I'm rambling. And then we did this. This is a paperclip flippy pad. So this clips in your book like that. And then you take it out, and you write on it, and you flip it back in. Cute, right? Okay, so that was our other one. And then we did banners. This is a banner paperclip with ribbon embellishments. And again, it just kind of goes on your page like that. And it will go all the way over, or you could make it not go all the way over and dangle something else off of there, but I feel like it's got enough dangly things. So those were our paper clips. All right, I know I'm taking a ton of time. All right, what was next? We're getting near the end. I feel like we're getting near the end. Yes, just 2 more things. Okay. The next thing we did was these. These collage cards that are going in this calendar book. So we just talked about this book because I just did the washi tape clusters with you guys that I've been decorating this book with. I had to untie a signature. I've got to restitch. I've got to resew the last signature, so I'm not quite done yet. I cut the knot by accident when I was cutting the ends. I cut the knot too close and it came undone. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. So I did these and I went ahead and finished them all. So I don't know if I should show them all to you or just wait for the flip through. Where did that come out of? I just pulled that out. Oh, this came out of here. So this goes in this pocket. And then we have this one with the cow. Cute, right? Okay. And we have this one with the little goat. That was one of the ones. That was my test one. I don't remember which ones we made together. I made this one with the rabbit. I don't think that, yeah, the other side's writing space. So it's just this front part. This was all done with scraps. You're getting sneak peeks. That one. Some of them are more plain than others. I mean, could use maybe more embellishing. But again, they're going into a nice flat pocket. So if you're going to embellish it, you got to be careful with what you put on there. Because I would be tempted to put like buttons and you know me, guys. All kinds of stuff. But I have to remember that it's going in a pocket. So it's got to be... Probably one of the best things you could put on here is find a quote or some sort of sentiment or something that you want to put on there. That's probably would be the best thing. Wait, why are we going back so far? Is that really how far back we're supposed to go? Okay, there. That's a flat one. Oh, I know why. This was my other top loading pocket. That's got to have something made for it. Okay, so we're here. We did this one, or I did this one. I can't remember which ones we did and which ones I did. And I'll show you the last one. Oh, this one had to have a tuck. I'm pretty sure I did that one on my own, but I can't, again, I don't remember. I don't know why I'm saying that like I actually remember. I don't. Okay. So no more peeking at that. Those were the collage cards we made in, that was the 10th thing. 10. We did 11 things. The last thing we did was these. Guys, I still love how this turned out. I cannot get over how much I love these. Dagna, I think I'm saying that right, is her name. Sasibo is the channel. She does gorgeous work. You guys should go over there and check her out. It's gorgeous. I have not run these through my sewing machine, the ones where I did the pockets, where I said I was going to go back and sew them. I have, however, gathered some goodies. So I thought maybe for our last little hurrah, I would decorate this guy. Now, while that heats up, because there's going to be some stuff I want to do, I'm going to make this little card, and what I've done is I've drawn a line here, and I want to fill that up with glue all the way up, and that's how far up I'm going to glue the card. Oh no, it's cloggied again. I lost my pin. My long one that fits in this real good. I lost it. Guys, I don't know what I did with it. But I can't find the other ones. It's kind of making me upset. Because it keeps getting clogged up. If I don't use the glue every single day, yeah, it gets mad at me and it clogs up. So, oh, here it comes. Okay, so we're going to go. See, I used it yesterday, so it was just a little clog. It's very sensitive. Okay, this is the bottom. This is going to go on here right to that line. Kind of centered. It's slightly bigger, but not enough to notice on the front. So I'm okay with that. Okay, so that's going to be our piece. Now, the other thing I did is I made 2 little dots on here. That's where the top corners of this are going to lay. And I did that because I'm not going to glue the bottom down to the fabric. I want to be able to pass through the belly band. And when you pass through the belly band, you're going to pass under this piece. So the glue is going to, oh look, you didn't want to come out before and now you're coming out in waves. Get a smoosher and move some of that glue. Okay. And then this is going to go on here and I'm going to put it down. Like I said, I made 2 little pencil marks on here. One for that corner and one for that corner. And the corners sit right on top of those pencil marks. And then this goes down like this. And then hopefully the idea is that you can get something under the belly band like that. Okay. I probably should have glued this down first. It would have been easier. Oh no, I'm going to bunch it along the bottom of there. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I'm talking nonsense. The glue's leaking everywhere. I had another glue stick out here. Now I don't know what I did with it because I cleaned up some. And I'm going to need it soon. All right, so first we're going to put this along the top up here. Okay, put that right there. And this is going to sit right here. Just like that. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so we're going to do like that. Oh, this is what I wanted to put down under there. Shoot. That was supposed to go under. It's not totally down yet. Okay, so basically what we'll do is we'll get this underneath of here. Listen, you. Really? You're not even laying on your side. It bugs me a little bit because of the amount of glue that gets wasted when that happens. It just, I mean, considering how expensive the Dygon glue is, drives me a little crazy. Am I the only one? I can't be the only one. Now I've made a mess. Okay, so did that. Now, you behaving? We're gonna do a little bit right along here. And I'm gonna bunch this in it, I hope. Like that. And we'll finish along the bottom down here. You have to excuse my bad manners. I didn't ask how anybody was doing or nothing. I just kind of jumped right in. Sorry. It's late here. I'm doing a late night video. I was out today. Guys, I'm so excited. The next video I shoot is going to be a haul. I had so much fun. And I've got so much stuff to share. And I can't wait. Okay, speaking of hauls. This isn't done. This is not done. I think while I was out on my haul, I got some stuff that I want to put on here to add a little bit of extra oomph and finish it off. And when I do that, it will be finished and I will show it to, well, it's going to get used. I know where I'm using this. So anyway, as you can tell by this little inchy thing here, this is going in that one accordion calendar journal, or on it. But these toppers were our last scrap using project. So, and these, and I mean, I do love most of the projects that we, I do love most of the projects that we did, but I would say these and these layered pocket things are my favorites. All of these things that I found, I would make to go into journals. I love these. They're extra time consuming, but I love them. And yeah, I mean, go back and look at the videos. If you saw a project here, if you haven't been watching the series and you saw a project here that you really like, I tried to go through them in order. So go back and look in order, and you should be able to go back to the episodes for making with my scrap mess and find the video that you're looking for. I probably should have been telling you what the title of the video was that it was in, but you should be able to go. It's the last 11 videos in the Making From My Mess series. So Making From My Mess 50 was the last one, and it's 11 videos in the other direction. But I hope you like these, and I hope that you'll give them a try, and I will be coming to you soon with another haul, guys. I had so much fun. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.